are Orthodox Christians, like Russia. And the Orthodox Christians have lived in Nagorno-Karabakh for 4,000 years. But Azerbaijan wanted that territory. And Azerbaijan got support from Israel and got support from Turkey. And Russia decided they would not stop Azerbaijan. And now Armenia becomes so angry with Russia that Armenia is turning towards the West. But the Russians acted the way they did on Nagorno-Karabakh, because in order to achieve a greater goal, you have to make sacrifices, which is what the Prophet did. I believe that Russia will continue to maintain friendly ties with India in order to achieve a greater good, even though Russia could see evidence that India is playing both sides in respect of BRICS and the monetary system, and because India is maintaining strategic ties with Israel, and India is oppressing her Muslim community. Russia will continue to maintain friendly ties with India in order to achieve a greater goal. Okay, this question I cannot answer, I don't. What about a nuclear treaty between Pakistan and Bangladesh? Bangladesh going away from India. Pakistan is not in a position to act sensibly the way Iran is acting sensibly, so long as Pakistan is controlled by these Yankee puppy dogs. When I speak like this, I can't visit Pakistan. But the Pakistani people prefer I remain outside of Pakistan and can call a spade, because they can't do it in Pakistan. If you speak like this in Pakistan, they'll kill you. So unless Pakistan becomes free, don't expect anything but stupidness coming from Pakistan. Kashmiri Pundits were slaughtered by ISI-funded jihadis in Kashmir, India, also known as Exodus, one of the Hindu traitors. The reason why many Hindus have hatred for Islam and Muslims is the same reason why many Orthodox Christians have hatred for Islam and Muslims. The Ottoman Empire was an oppressor. They controlled Belgrade for 400 years. When the Christians succeeded in throwing the Ottoman Empire out, the Christians destroyed every masjid in Belgrade. Every masjid. Left only one masjid standing, only one. This was their hatred for Islam and Muslims. When I began to teach them the Quran and correct history using the Quran, what happened? When I went to Belgrade and I'm lecturing at the University of Belgrade, and they're seeing me for the first time in their life, and I am dressed with a gown and a hat as an Islamic scholar, and the gathering, the auditorium is packed to capacity. People are standing in the aisles, people are standing at the doorway, no place to sit down. And 99% of those present are Christians. How do you explain that they were crying? How do you explain that these same people who have hatred in their hearts for Islam. They were crying when I was speaking. Answer: because I did the work of removing the brainwashing that had taken place and getting them to listen to what is in the Quran that was never taught to them by the Ottoman Empire in 600 years. And I called a spade a spade. I declared that the Ottoman Sultan committed a monstrous sin in waging war on Constantinople when the Patriarch of Constantinople wanted peace. The Quran says you are prohibited from fighting if your enemy wants peace. I said that the Ottoman Sultan committed a monstrous evil act when he took Hagia Sophia and converted it to a masjid. Because the Quran says you have to fight if necessary to protect the cathedral, protect the synagogue, protect the masjid. And they were crying. And today the Orthodox Christian world have respect for me. If the scholars of Islam in India were to do the same thing that I did with the Orthodox Christian world, the story might be different in India. I don't know. But the scholars of Islam in India have not done that. They have continued to glorify and to honor Muslim rule over Hindu India. How would you feel if a Muslim leader kisses the Bible? Allah says in the Quran, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم ألف لام ميم ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب ويقيمون الصلاة ومما رزقناهم ينفقون. Now listen. والذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك. This book has been sent down to those who believe in that which was sent down to you, O Muhammad. الذين يؤمنون بما أنزل إليك وما أنزل من قبلك. To be a Muslim, you must also have Iman in that which came down before you. That which came down before you. I was engaged in a dialogue, Muslim-Christian dialogue, with an Anglican archbishop in Cape Town many years ago. And the audience, the auditorium was packed. And many of them were Jews in that audience. And the archbishop, or the bishop, the Anglican bishop, took the Bible and put it on the ground. He took the Bible and put it on the ground. And I said to him, you're going to have to answer for that. That is showing disrespect for the Bible. No, the Bible should not be on the ground. So a Muslim, whether you kiss the book or you show respect for the book in any other way, we will not disrespect the Bible. Eid al-Adha, we are supposed to sacrifice goats. Why do we sacrifice cows and aggravate our relations with Hindu neighbors? There is a similarity between Hinduism and Judaism, and it is for scholars of Islam to do the research. Don't expect me to do all the research. The cow occupies a position that is pivotally important for the Jew. Because Allah ordered them to sacrifice a cow. And then they asked, what color? And then they asked, what kind? And they asked this and that and the other. And Allah kept on answering, the cow has to be like this, come like that, come like that. And then they sacrificed the cow, but they did it unwillingly. That cow was yellow in color. And they changed it from yellow and they made it red. And they say now that a red cow has to be sacrificed if the temple is to be rebuilt. That is Judaism. But the Hindu says, no, you cannot sacrifice the cow. The cow occupies a position of pivotal importance for the Hindu, to such an extent that some Hindus even worship the cow. And there must be some reason why Allah chooses to place the first surah of the Quran after Al-Baqarah, after Al-Fatiha, with the cow. Al-Baqarah is the first surah of the Quran. And a few surahs later, Al-An'am, the cow. So yes, this is a subject of great importance for research. But when Mohandas Gandhi approached the Khilafat movement for an alliance, a Hindu-Muslim alliance, and the Khilafat movement said, yes, we agree, Gandhi said, I have one condition: don't sacrifice the cow, don't kill the cow. And the leaders of the Muslims decided, we agree, we will not kill the cow. So if you are in India and the Hindus do not want you to kill the cow, then it doesn't make sense for you to insist that you have the right to kill the cow and end up where you are today. Bangladesh may elect Jamaat Islami into the leadership. Can you see a Muslim alliance forming between Taliban and other South Asian Muslims? I don't know enough about Bangladeshi politics to be able to comment on what future exists for Bangladesh. What I do know is that the struggle to get rid of Hasina, if that's her name, was a struggle against an oppressor. And many, many people lost their lives. We honor and respect those who struggle to get rid of that oppressor, and we object to those who now slander them by saying that this was a CIA coup d'etat. What is the future that lies ahead for Bangladesh is a subject that I don't have the competence, because I've not studied enough of the subject to be able to speak. I have heard that the Zionist office in India for the last 300 years, does have any correlation with the RSS for extreme Hindu? There is definitely between Israel and India, between Judaism in Israel and Hinduism in India, there is definitely a link. But as I said to you, I don't have the appetite to do another 15 years of research on this subject. I have done tonight is I've given you an appetizer, I've given an introductory lecture. It is for other scholars now to come forward and take over from where I have begun. What I have said is that the same fate appears to await Muslims in India, which has already fallen as a lot of the Muslims and Christians in Palestine. I am a revert from Greek Christian Orthodoxy. Have you been to Greece or spoken to any of the priests about their views on Islam? I got my book, Constantinople in the Quran, which the Greek people should love. Oh yes. Because no Christian people have a greater attachment to Hagia Sophia than the Greek Christians. The Greek Christians. So Constantinople in the Quran was translated to Greek. And we printed 1,000 copies. And the copies are in a warehouse in Tirana, in Albania. When I attempted to travel to Greece, they insisted on a vaccine. I said, no, I'm not taking any vaccine. So I've not been able to visit Greece as yet. But I have to plan to visit Greece and take this book, Constantinople in the Quran, which has already been translated to Greek and published. And when I go to Greece, I hope to be able to make contact with the scholars in Greece. 2 more questions and we finish. Those of us who want to make hijrah, which country will you choose and why? Hijrah is in Surah Al-Kahf. And in Surah Al-Kahf, hijrah was movement from places of insecurity, meaning insecurity for your faith because you stand up for your religion, from places of insecurity in search of places of security. So it's not necessarily movement from one country to another. It can be movement from the city to the remote countryside. But when you have a civilization, like modern Western civilization, which is an oppressor, and you come here because of the British pound, that's why you're here, because of the British pound, or you are in the United States because of the US dollar, because of the economic convenience and the prosperity, where you have poverty in Pakistan and Bangladesh and miserable poverty in Egypt and in Morocco and so on. What do? Answer. If you remain in this country, then your children, if not your grandchildren, will be eating bacon and eggs for breakfast and drinking wine for lunch. Part of this religion that makes it so beautiful is our personal hygiene. We are a clean people. When we go to the toilet, we clean ourselves with water. And it's only when water is not available you turn to something else. But you live in this country long enough, and your own children and grandchildren will come to tell you it is unhygienic to use water. Yeah. And to be civilized, you must use toilet paper. And we are a civilized people. One of the way of life of the people who live the religious way of life is that you will never eat without washing your hands. And in my old age, I cannot find anyone. I cannot find anyone, none, today, none, who wash their hands before eating. I can't find them. None. Nobody. Everybody have abandoned it. When I go to eat, I was traveling today in the Eurostar from Brussels to come to London, and they serve a meal. No water. What did I do? They gave me a bottle of water. So I took the bottle of water and I did this, and I poured some water in my hand, made my hand a cup, and I washed my hands with a little bit of water from the bottle. But